welcome to the Passion Witch Project. I'm your host, Emily Steckel, Reiki practitioner, pharmacist, and Passion Witch. And on the show, we talk with folks who are leaning into what makes them wonderfully weird and following their passion. And today, we are so excited to be joined by Katelyn Skerry Notice, who is a teacher, a coach, and also a yoga instructor. So a woman of many gifts and many hats. Currently being worn. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
So grateful to have you.
Yeah.
So, all right, Katelyn, I'm going to ask you the hardest question first. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. If you could be the best in the world at one thing, what would it be?
Being myself. I mean, that's the only thing I can be the best at, right?
That.
Because I feel like I did think about this question because, you'd previously sent it. And my first instinct was myself.
Yeah.
But then I thought, okay, what are some of my goals? What are the things that I want to bring to the world? Do I want to be the best at that?
Yeah.
But when I thought about it, I want to, expand collective consciousness for the world. But I can't be the best at that. There's no way of being the best at that because different people are going to resonate with me. Different people are going to resonate with you, all the other healers and teachers and energy workers in the world. So I can't possibly be the best at that. I can just be the best me I can be.
Yeah,
and
the
that's
most kind of
that's
integrated.
The most impact. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
the most kind of like
absolutely.
whole version of you, allowing yourself to be your myriad parts.
Yes.
Simultaneously.
Absolutely.
Oh, I love that. That's beautiful. I think Kristen Bedrick also had that answer, which
She
is
did.
super
She
fun
did.
because that's
Yeah.
how we came to meet, which is like a
Absolutely.
fun little tidbit there.
And I think, just think about what you just said. If truly being the best at anything would be myself, then that's even more reason to invest in myself and to take care of myself, which I think has been like one of the huge game changers. Instead of living for the outside of me, living for the inside of me and cultivating that first before I express out into the world.
I so appreciate that. And what has that looked like on your journey so far?
I was living in a really survival mode state for most of my life. And then I think especially most intensely in my 20s to my early 30s. I had that hustle mindset that I was an extremely hard worker, but I was also addicted to work. I was constantly just going. And if there was space, I would fill it immediately. I didn't know how to sit with myself. I didn't know how to be with myself. And then the pandemic hit. And then you have no choice, right? And I think there were already things that were signs for me that I'm feeling incredibly burned out. I have always been so passionate and so excited, and I'm still passionate and excited, but I'm so tired, like soul level exhaustion, that I almost had nothing left to give. And then the world shut down. And it really made me realize that, there were days I had trouble getting out of bed because I was like, no one needs me, and I'm so used to being needed. And I realized my entire identity was based on service to others, but never to myself. And I was trying to serve from, below empty. And it was a turning point for sure.
I have a feeling that is many people's truth.
Yeah, I think so too.
I wonder if we'll look back one day and see the pandemic as like the greatest gift that was given to our
Interesting,
generation.
right? Yeah, and so much tragedy and loss.
So much
but
tragedy and loss, absolutely.
Also, some beauty that comes out of it.
There are two sides always, right?
Self-reflection. There always is, yes. The yin and the yang, light and the dark, there's always both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. So from that moment of realization, what did you do?
Well, I would like to say I popped right out of bed and I figured it out, but I did not. It took me a while. It definitely took me a while. I think it was the end of 2021, I found yoga. And that was really the biggest game changer for me. Because I was in a process of searching between 2020 and 2021 and really recognizing that I had built my whole life around other people to the point where my entire identity, my self-worth, my meaning was in others and in my service to others. And when I didn't have that, I didn't know who I was. So I started that exploration with a lot of journaling, a lot of self-reflection. I've always been an athlete, so movement has been huge for me. I was a Division I athlete in college. Like I'm a cheerleading coach. I love movement, and my body has always been a place where I feel grounded and I'm able to connect with myself. So I went for a lot of long runs and things like that. But then when I found yoga, it really it just opened everything up for me. And to this day, I would say, if you're lost, find a yoga mat and then just keep showing back up, and things will change. Like, it just unfolds.
Absolutely.
And you have no idea how it's going to happen, but it does.
Yeah, it's wild. I just to emphasize that point, I had resisted yoga my whole life. Like, I came to running, and that felt good. And then my husband and I separated earlier this year, and I moved back in with my folks. And I just knew, I was like, I just need to go to a yoga studio. I need to go find yoga. And I did. I felt called.
Yep.
And it was just one day after the next, I felt stronger in ways that I didn't know you could be strong, if that makes sense. And now I have a space where I'll be doing healing in that yoga studio. So it's amazing how, right, like the concrete things that can come. So many internal shifts, but so many also, actual people that we've connected to through yoga, and I don't know, the gifts that come are unexpected.
It is. Well, it's actually changed my external world as well.
Interesting.
At first, I do want to say though, at first, I had huge internal changes happening.
Yes.
But my life was I was still a teacher and a cheerleading coach, and I was still working 14-hour days on a regular basis.
Interesting.
But the way I was experiencing that was completely different.
Okay.
Instead of stress and panic, and like if the copier was broken, I'd be freaking out first thing in the morning. I'd be like, well, I'm going to finish my coffee. And if the kids don't have a geometry worksheet, they won't die, and we'll figure it out, you know? And just so like the way I was experiencing my daily life changed so much that, who I was and how I was living was completely different, even though I had the exact same job. I lived in the exact same house. I was still overworking massively. I probably still am. But the experience of it changed so much. But then after I did yoga teacher training, and I did that very quickly too, like feeling called, it's interesting. Yeah, it just aligned. I started yoga in December of 2021, and I was in YTT, yoga teacher training, by February.
Wow.
And I was like, I love that. A lot of imposter syndrome, like, who am I to be doing this right now? But like just something, people kept bringing it up to me, and the opportunity was there, and everything just aligned. Yeah. So then after that, after I graduated the year following, I knew I was done teaching math. Yeah. It was another thing, I just felt it.
I'm curious, like, what did that feel like in your body, or what were the signs that really helped you understand that?
Yeah, great question, because I was feeling so much better within myself, but the passion that I used to have for it was just not, it was dulling in a way. Yeah. And in, public education and formal standardized education in general, who I am has been moving away from that quite a bit. Because I also realized that, achievement, and this is like what we're pushing with the best of intentions, because we want good things for our children, but academic achievement is not a determinant of happiness, of life success, even financially, in any way, shape, or form, of success in college even. Academic achievement, it just doesn't, it's not, we're driving so much energy towards this goal, and I was looking at it like, this is not it. And at this point, I've been a teacher for 15 years, so I've had so many kids graduate. My first class of kids are like 27, 28 years old, they're grown adults, and I'm seeing where their lives went. In a lot of beautiful places, they're doing beautiful things, but they're like, if I looked at their math scores, it tells me nothing, absolutely nothing about who they would become, how happy or traditionally successful they would become. So I was just realizing, like, I have so much energy and so much to give, and this is not the direction I want to put it in anymore. And so I resigned. I wrote a resignation letter, and my bosses were like, wait, no, hold on, which I'm so grateful and blessed for, because in public schools, most of the time they're like, goodbye, we can pay two, straight out of college teachers for what we pay you, no problem. But they said, no, please talk to us, and what are you looking for? And I said, well, I love children, I love teaching. Could I teach yoga? And they said, great, you're a PE teacher, take the test. I said, okay, thank you.
So beautiful.
Yeah. I've just been so supported. It's been amazing. And so I started a yoga, meditation, and mindfulness program at Lawrence High School in Lawrence, Massachusetts. I have about 300 kids a year that come through it, so I get 150 per semester, and they love it. They love it. I actually thought that there would be a little bit more resistance in teenagers than there has been. Like maybe week one, they'll be like, oh, I don't want to take this class. Let me see if I can switch. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. But, I'll see you tomorrow. And then they just like you keep showing up to the mat, they have to show up to class. And at first they resisted a little bit, but then they love it.
I'm
so
curious.
It's great.
So how long have you been doing the program now?
This is year 4.
Year 4. So this is like big changes I'm sure have happened. What have you seen shifting in the culture of the school as a result of this program?
I mean, I think in school-wide culture, it's a little bit trickier to make an impact because I do teach 300 kids a year. That's a lot of kids, but we have 4,000 in the high school as a whole. Yeah. So the kids that come through the program, I mean, I get letters every single year from kids who took the program previously who are like, this changed who I am. So it's changed like my life. And I think that the kids that have come through it are so much more resilient on the other side because they're doing the work of connecting with themselves, of identifying who they are. And in high school, so much you're living outside of yourself.
Oh, for sure.
And I mean, we are in a lot of areas of life, but like high schoolers in particular, because they're asking everybody else, who am I and what am I worth? Right. Instead of looking to themselves. And so we flip it completely. And so their mindsets very much change and shift. I do one school-wide thing is my administrators asked me this year to do more of this work with the teachers as well, which I think is hugely impactful because if you can get teachers out of survival mode and out of all of these, toxic patterns, then they impact hundreds of students a day and their energy is mirrored with the kids and absorbed by the kids as well. So it's just so important that we all, work towards being more healthy and balanced and centered and all of these things. So I am seeing changes for sure. Just still work to go.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I think we forget how the little ripples really extend outward, right?
Yes.
I mean, I think about kids who are in that class with you, who are then having conversations with classmates who are not in that class, and how those relationships form, and how this kind of like lovely little web extends outward, right?
Yes.
Like,
and at home with their families,
and at
too.
home with their families.
Yeah, we do community circle once a week where we're just trying to get back to just human connection.
Yes,
just
exactly.
like the most basic of things. What's your favorite color?
Yes.
Like just like the little things where we just talk. And, these classes are randomly put together, so they don't all know each other, and they might not be friends outside of the class, and that's fine. Yeah. But you can interact with and care about and show support towards any other human being. And so we bring that back, and then one of their assignments is to do a community circle at home with their parents and their family, siblings, and that's all different ages too, so that's fun. And so they come up with some questions, and then they do that at home, and the purpose is to step back, non-judgment, you listen. When somebody else has the talking piece, you can't speak. So it's also an interesting challenge for parents, because parents often want to jump in and advise, or like, we don't realize it, but as adults, we talk over children a lot. And so they don't always feel heard. And so it's an opportunity to be like, no, Mom, these are the rules. You agreed. It's a homework assignment. And it changes family dynamics too.
Yeah, that is so, I love hearing you talk about this work with such passion and how you've already been able to sort of like scale out in some really lovely ways. Do you see, what do you see your work kind of looking like, evolving, moving forward? Are you just sort of following the cosmic breadcrumbs and seeing where you land, or do you have a vision of disrupting education, or like what is your?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
I mean, my vision is that we completely transform education to be, child first, holistic humans, like raising humans. We've just we've created these boxes and these organization systems, and then we're taking our own precious children and trying to force them into these boxes and make them fit, when that's not what this is about. They were all born, all of us were all born with our own unique gifts and talents to offer, and we should be cultivating them to make them brighter, to help them expand them, and to help them look within and identify them. And think about as adults how much we're unlearning now in our lives. And a lot of it does come from the school system. And granted, of course, it's societal and it's parenting and our parents' parents and generational, of course, with good intentions as well. Like I am an educator at heart, and I work with people who love kids, who want the best for kids. But even with the best of intentions, I think that we're going in the wrong direction and we're prioritizing the wrong things. So I really would love to see a shift in education, because with that, I see a shift in the world. You know, if we're raising kids who are empowered, who know themselves, who love themselves, who are ready to shine at their brightest, they're going to go out and create new things. No, they're not going to sit down and do your, you know, piece after piece after piece job or whatever, but we're going to have computers doing that anyway. So why are we still teaching them to be compliant and to do rote memorization over and over and over? This is not where the world is going or where we want it to go. We want it to be expanded and bigger and brighter. And so we need to raise our kids with that in mind. So yes, that would be the ultimate goal. But I think as far as the how, that's still up to
I mean, it's
the
happening every
universe.
day, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's happening every day. What would you like to say to parents who maybe are raising a teenager right now? What would be a message you would give?
Nervous system co-regulation would be my biggest advice to parents of kids of all ages. But I think it comes up a lot in toddler years, big emotions, teenage years, big emotions. Co-regulation is one of the best ways that you can reach your child in a way where positive communication can actually come from it. When we're meeting each other with these blocked nervous systems in survival mode, we're just coming up against each other, and and then some of us are just building walls and building walls and building walls that then takes years to come back and to bring back together. I'm working through that process with my own mother. It's challenging. And so we don't have to build these walls. It doesn't have to be like this. But doing exactly what we did prior to coming on air. Deep belly breaths. If we're both activated and we're trying to have a conversation, that's not the time for that. We need to regulate and then co-regulate also throughout the course of it, being able to stay calm. Notice yourself. I really often, especially in challenging moments, will put my hand on my heart. And I'll just, from there, just start calming myself. And take the breaks that you need so that when you are coming together, it is positive and uplifting and connecting and not separating.
It's interesting to think about listening to ourselves, right? Do you find, were there moments in your life when you had you wouldn't even know what that means?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
we're so disconnected from ourselves, and I think that's one of the things that we talk about a lot in classes, like mind, body, and soul, and how they're like in these separate buckets, and we really need to bring them together. Because even as someone who's been in my physical body a lot in my life as an athlete, I was still very disconnected, and it was like there were buckets, or like what do they call it, compartmentalization, and they say it like it's a good thing. Oh, I don't think it is, actually. Yes, instead of integration.
Yeah, well, it's interesting, right? Because I do think sometimes perhaps it is helpful if we don't have the bandwidth, if we don't have the skills or tools to process it. Like maybe it can sit there for a little bit. But then once we are regulated, allowing ourselves to bring those parts back. Have you found in your work with kiddos things that are particularly helpful for allowing kids to bring back parts of themselves? I'm thinking it's a time ripe for shame, for unworthiness, for right, all of these things that make us separate a piece, kick it out into the closet, into the basement, and not look at it. Are there things that you find help kids bring those pieces back?
Absolutely. I mean, the same things that adults do, but all kids are different too. There's not like, well, for kids you can do this, and every child is different.
Totally.
A lot of my kids respond really well to art and creating art. They love it. Art, meditative art is a huge part of my class. And even the kids that don't connect with it immediately, like they're like, I can't draw things. I'm like, neither can I. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what comes out on the page. All that matters is you moving your hand and moving through whatever it is. And then sometimes, depending on the prompt that I give, they'll create things that are very dark or violent even, and it's okay, for that to be there. Like that, it's okay. It's acceptable.
Exactly.
And so having a place where they're not shaming and abandoning those parts, but allowing them to express in a safe way is great. But so art is a big one. Other kids respond really well to movement. Almost all of them respond really well to nature. When it's nice outside, they're like, please, what are we doing today? Can we go outside? Can we go outside? We'll do yoga outside. Can we go outside? Like they love being outside.
I remember those days.
Yeah.
Can we go have an English class outside?
Oh my gosh, yeah. And I mean, I teach like 17-year-olds, but for some reason we get rid of recess after a certain age and we just trap them in the cement building all day long. And so of course they want to see the sun, So just a walk outside, breathing exercises. Many kids really enjoy journaling as well. Spill journaling, where I give them the journal, but they'll just scribble on the page. That can be helpful. And then the other thing I was thinking of for parents that might not always make sense, especially when you're in a place of anger, but just holding their hands.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're still your children. They're still kids,
And that physical touch. I mean, that's huge for me in my life, my journey, my work. Yeah. Oh, that's so beautiful. What a lovely thing.
Yeah.
Oh, our pets need it. We need it. Everybody needs it.
Everybody.
Yeah.
The whole world. We need to hug each other more.
Definitely. It's funny, as you've been talking, I've been thinking about, the fact that you're working with children. When you look back to your youth, your childhood, your adolescent years, are there little clues that you can look back on and say, oh, this was a little foreshadowing of who I would become someday? Or are there, and sometimes those might be painful moments, right? Like our medicine is often from our struggle.
Yes, yeah.
But sometimes it's from our...
I mean, I think my perfectionism and the work addiction started at a very, very young age as a protection and as a, if I'm perfect, I'll be safe. If I'm perfect, I'll be safe. If I'm perfect, I'll be loved. If I'm perfect, I'll be accepted. And so there are 5 kids in my house, and we all went in different directions on how we coped and managed, and mine was definitely perfectionism.
Were you oldest? Where were you in the birth order?
Well, of my blood siblings, I'm the oldest, and my 2 younger brothers, and then you could tell, that's the over-functioning oldest daughter, yes. But then there's, of the 5 of us, I'm the middle, so I do have 2 older step-siblings. And we dealt with it in such different ways. It's really interesting to see growing up in the same household, like 5 different kids, totally different people doing totally different things.
That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And it's beautiful to see everyone's journey unfold. And that's why, again, it makes us feel safe as humans to make these categories, to make these boxes, to make things make sense. Yeah. But really, it's all unique. It's 100% individual. And all we can do is just lead people back to themselves, and then they'll express, But I was a cheerleader in high school. I loved it. It was really, really important to me, and my identity as an athlete still is very important to me. And that led me to coaching cheerleading. And Lawrence High School, we've won 2 national championships. The kids are super talented. It's great. Yeah.
That's such a lovely piece to bring into, a cheerleader, right? You are someone who brings joy and cheer, and life isn't all that, right? But it's something that you felt the value in and the importance in your whole life, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And helping other kids see that in themselves.
Absolutely. It's a really empowering sport. And the accountability level is very high because if you're missing one person, you can't do the whole routine.
Right.
So that's an interesting piece of it that not everybody kind of realizes. But for me as a kid, that was huge because when I was missing, I was needed. And so then that was another thing that I think was a string into the future. Went a little too extreme, had to pull it back, but the being needed and knowing that I matter and having that very tangible, you can see that it doesn't work without me. I matter,
Yeah, I love the mention of the word accountability as well, because I think so often folks who are maybe not resonating with this culture of integration, of kind of raising collective consciousness, folks are kind of skeptical looking on the outside of it. They think it's all kind of la la la, right? But accountability is so integral to this work. Like how
self-discipline.
And self-discipline, exactly. Like to do the work requires such discipline.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say to a skeptic who's like, I don't know?
Well, on the educator side, one thing I would say is that one of the biggest gifts and challenges of being an educator and being a coach is holding kids accountable to their own greatness. That's what it really is, and that's the accountability parts are sticky and they're gritty and they're hard. Yeah. But I'm holding you accountable because I know what you're capable of. Yeah. I know it in my soul, and I need you to know it in yours too. That you are better than this, that you are capable of literally anything. But we have to teach you that you're able to step to that. Yeah. Otherwise, how are they going to know? Right. And then when it comes to personal development work, oh my gosh, like it's some of the hardest work you're ever going to do. And self-discipline is the highest form of self-love. Yes. The highest form. Yeah. When you're holding yourself accountable to, no, I said I'm going to do this, so I'm going to do it. Because how you show up one place is how you show up everywhere, especially when you're talking about how you show up or don't show up for yourself. Yeah. So I think, and it builds resilience as well. Like I know what you're talking about. People who are outside looking in have this image of, well, everything's too soft and squishy and there's no structure and it's, no, there is.
But it comes from within, right? It's
exactly. It just comes from a different place because we truly should be living from the inside out. And so often, because of just the way we've set up our society, we're living from the outside in. We're looking to everybody else like, who am I supposed to be? Who am I? Instead of looking within and then expressing out. So it's just, And there is also, of course, the balance of the masculine and feminine and how we have really gone towards the masculine. Yes. But you need both. Yes. You need both. The integration is both. Yeah. Men need it, women need it, all genders, anybody. Yeah. So,
Oh, it's so gorgeous. So I know you also do coaching. Who are your ideal clients? Like, who are you calling in that you would love to work with more?
For my holistic neurogrowth coaching, I would love to work with kids and families. I work with all ages, but teenagers I have the most experience with, who are struggling with motivation. I think it can be really challenging to stay motivated in the systems and structures that we've set up. One of the things that kills me in public education is watching kids come in the fall with all this brightness and excitement in their eyes and then just seeing it start to deaden because they're not surrounded by excitement and curiosity and opportunities to engage in things that they're passionate about. It's just do this, do this, do this, do that. And we're all suffering under it, all of us, teachers, students, it's not good. So I would love to work with families who want to work on that. Yeah. And kids who are maybe overperforming as well, like me, anxiety, perfectionism, things like that. I have a couple clients right now who are working through that and just trying to understand that their grades don't equal their worth.
Oh my God. Yes. Yes. I love that, Katelyn. Oh, so how could someone find you?
Instagram, Facebook. Yep. Email me directly. I would love to talk to anyone who wants to talk.
Awesome. Katelyn Skerry Notice. Yes. Please find her. She is amazing. Thank you for sharing your magic with us today. And I can't wait for so many more conversations.
Oh, thank you, Emily. I hope to see you again soon.
Thank you. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time on the Passion Witch Project.